Hello, my dear student of Sanak Academy. This is Samarpan sir in front of you. So today this video is for the class 7 student, and I am going to discuss the first chapter of your honeycomb book. And the name of the chapter I am going to tell today is three questions. This chapter or this story is retold by the Leo Tolstoy. Let us begin the chapter, and the name of the chapter is Three Questions. If you have book, open it, and if you do not have book, look at your mobile screen. I am showing you the PDF file of this chapter. Let's begin the chapter. Three questions. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew three things. These three things were: what is the right time to begin something, which people should listen, which people should he listen to, what is the most important thing for him to do. So, this chapter, the three question, is about a king. There was a king, and who wanted to know the answer of three questions. He believed that if he know the answer of these three questions, he became a powerful ruler. So he want to know the answer of these three questions. And what are the questions? The questions are: what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? And what is the most important things for him to do? These are the three questions, and he wanted to know the answer of these questions. Let us see what happened next. The king therefore sent messenger throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. Now, so what happened? So now, king sent messenger throughout his kingdom, and he told messenger to bring a person who could answer these questions, and anyone who satisfied him would be given a lot of money. So, in order to get answer, king sent messenger to bring a person who would answer these three questions. Let us see next. Many wise men came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. So what happened? So many wise men came to the court of a king, and each and every person answer differently. Means their answers are different from one another. In reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything in the proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going on, avoid the foolish pleasure, and always do whatever seemed necessary at the time. Now, what happened next? And next, in order to answer the first question, some people said that king had to prepare a timetable to do the right thing at the right time, and some other are saying that other are saying that it was impossible to decide the right time for doing something in advance. King should do important things in necessary time and avoid the foolish pleasure. Yet the other said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at a proper time. This was because one man would find it impossible to decide correctly without help from other the right time for every action. Now, what happened? So, some others said that a king need a council of minister. Council of minister means a group of people chosen to give advice or to make rule. So some people are saying that a king needed a council of minister in order to take a right decision. But because one man would find it difficult to decide correctly, one cannot decide a right thing. So that's why he need a council of ministers to take decisions. But then others said that there was some things which could be urgent. This thing could not wait for the decisions of the councils. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary. It is necessary to look into futures, and only the magician could do that. The king therefore would have to go to magicians now. What happened? So now the people are saying that it was sometime. There was some urgent thing which could in which the king have to decide then and there. So here what I'm saying is people said that there were some urgent things also in which king had to decide then and there. So this thing could not wait for the decisions of a council. So that's why in order to decide the right thing, he have to know about future. And the magicians have power to know futures. So some people are advising or suggesting king to go to the magician. In their answer to second question, some say that people must necessary to the king were his counselors, others say the priest, a few other chosen the doctor, and yet others say that his soldiers were the most necessary. So in order to answer the second question, in order to get the answer of second question, some people are saying that people must have his own priest, king must have his own counselor, king must have his own faithful army. So in this way, people are suggesting in different ways. The third question, some said science, others choose fighting, and yet other religious worship. Now, for answering the third question, some of people suggesting for science, some of people are suggesting for fighting, some of people saying king to do a religious worship, a big rituals. So in this way, king got a various answer by the varieties of man. As the answer to his questions was so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no rewards. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit who was widely known for his wisdom. Now, what happened? So, next, what happened? So, king got a various answer by the varieties of wise men. So, he decided to go to seek the advice from a hermit. Actually, he was not satisfied with anyone. So, he himself decided to go to hermit to seek decision, to seek advice. So hermit here, what do you mean by hermit? Hermit means a person who lives alone and lead a simple life. So he decided to go there. Hermit was widely known for his wisdom actually. So he decided to go to hermit. Let us see what happened. The hermit lived in a wood which he never left. He saw no one but simple people. And so the king put an ordinary cloth. Before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went alone. Now, what happened? So, for getting the answer, the king, in a disguise of a simple man, means in order to getting answer, king put on ordinary clothes and went to meet a hermit who lived in a wood. Live in a wood means who lived in a forest. So hermit used to meet only a simple person. That's why he disguised himself. He put on the ordinary clothes and went to the hermit in the forest for seeking advice. Let us see what happened. As the king came near the hermit hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. So when king When king went there, hermit was digging ground in front of his hut. So, so what happened when king went to hermit? He saw hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut, and he greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak. As he worked, he breathed heavily. Now, what happened? So, king went to hermit and saw hermit was digging on the ground. As hermit was old and weak, while digging, he breathed heavily. The king went up to the hermit and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer three questions. How can I learn to do the right things at the right time? Who are the people I need it most? And what affairs are most important now? So, king went up to the hermit. King went up to the hermit and he said that, dear hermit, a wise hermit, I came here in front of you to ask you to answer three questions. And he asked the same question, same three questions to hermit also. What is the right time to begin? How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? And what appears are most important for me. So what happened here? King went to hermit and asked the same three questions. What are the questions? As I already told you that what is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? And what is the most important thing for him to do? So means these three questions he asked to hermit. Next, what happened? The hermit listens to the king but did not speak. He went on digging. You're tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work in your place. Now, what happened? As hermit listened to the king, but he did not speak. And king said that, you're tired. Let me work. Give me your spade and let me work in your place. Now, king wants to work in the place of hermit because king saw that he was very tired. So he asked him for a spade and he wants to work on the ground, or he wants to dig that ground. Thanks, said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. So after that, hermit gave that spade to the king, and he sat down on the floor after thanking the king. Next, when the king had dug two beds, he stopped and repeated the questions. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade and said, now you rest and let me work. But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. So after digging the two beds, he repeated his question. So now the king was digging, and after digging the two beds, he was repeated his question again and again and again and again. But the hermit gave no answer to king, and hermit told king, give me my spade. I think you are tired now. You take a rest for some time and let me work here. But king did not give him back his spade, and king continued digging. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun set. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my question. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home. Here comes someone running, said the hermit. Now, what happened? So, after some hour, the sun went down. Sun is going to set, but hermit did not answer to the king, and king became aggressive, and he stuck the spade into the ground and told, I came here to ask you something, wise man. I came here to you for an answer to my question. If you don't want, if you don't want to answer me that question, then tell me. I will go to home. I will return my home. So in this way, king became aggressive, and all of a sudden, hermit said, "Here comes someone running." Now another character entered in the story. Someone who is running come towards the king and hermit. Who was that man? Who is coming there? Let us discuss in our next video in unit 2. So up to this is your part 1, and I will back with the part 2 in my next video. So till then, do homework, this comprehension check. If any confusion, you can comment down. So you can also WhatsApp me also. This is the first part, and I will continue the same chapter in the next video. Till then, stay safe. Thank you very much.